Morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's another weekend. Fingers crossed we're going for a positive one this weekend. Big challenges ahead though. As you would have seen from the last episode, I had a number of interesting challenges and I got somewhat frustrated, I have to admit, and so there are significant pieces of what I'm doing that have not been filmed. So the first thing was the first attempt to bleed the brakes, which you've seen the result. Unfortunately I didn't capture the actual bleeding process and what happened, but you saw the result. The good news is that is fixed, putting in the correct O-ring. So it's interesting when you get those maintenance kits. I'm sure they're possibly maybe made up for multiple different vehicles or sets of brakes, because to be honest, a lot of those brakes look very, very similar. But I had an issue getting that first part in, so went with the other one. Anyway, my mistake, we've rectified that. The second thing was obviously then putting on the wheels, and they were just touching the calipers. So again, I know I've said it, but big thanks to Tom Cottrell for giving me his spare set. I will be going on to the R53 Owners Club website. I see that they sell spaces, so I'm going to look. I just got to decide whether I go for 3 or 5 mil spaces. Just depends, because I know you take these off and they literally are just touching. So 3 mil may be enough, but then do I go 5 mil to play safe? Big question. Don't know yet. We'll work it out, but we're okay for working on the car, getting it running and getting the wheel alignment done. That's the important bit right now. Get that done. So the next thing is it won't start. So this is the problem I have. As you would have seen at the end of the last video as well, I had to pull this thing up on the trailer. I was hoping it was just that because I'd empty the fuel tank, and I was running out of time to get this thing down to the garage on Monday. I took it down there, went off, got some fuel, put fuel in it. You can hear the pump, the petrol pump, winding up, and I thought it would be okay. So one of the things we did check. So I've checked. I thought, this is the air return for the tank. Because you can't really get too much, I didn't have any tools with me when I was down there at the garage. I pulled this off to see if there's anything coming out. Obviously nothing much was coming out. It's dry as a bone, so I thought there was a fuel issue. The next thing that I haven't filmed is, and that's purely because I didn't have anything with me. I happened to pop in here last night. I just had to drop some bits and pieces off, and so I quickly whipped off the intercooler and pulled the fuel line off, and as soon as you turn on ignition, fuel just starts pouring out. So there's definitely fuel coming in. Now, is it the right pressure? A bit hard to know. I don't have a tool to measure the pressure. I think you can get, where is it, somewhere on the fuel ray here, there's a little nipper you could actually do a test, but again, it's underneath the intercooler, I think, so you'd have to get there. Now again, the first thing is we need to do today, and sorry for this long intro, we need to work out why this thing isn't working. So I've got a reader, so a code reader, so it's not a fantastic one, but we'll go and hop in and see if there's anything with that. And then we'll have to go in and see if there's nothing there. Well, we're going to have to just bit by bit work out what the heck is going wrong. So I know that we've got fuel. I don't know if I can assume a bit had spark. One thing I did do, as you may have remembered, I did take this coil pack off, because number 3 was a bit rusty. It does, when you go and put this on, it doesn't click as nicely as the others, but you'd expect with the other 3 you'd at least get some firing, but we're not getting anything at all. So the only other thing I can think of is maybe the crank position sensor, but again, I'm not quite sure how that's not working, because we didn't go anywhere near haven't gone anywhere near the front of the car, but who knows? So, right, enough talking from me. Let's get in and see what we can work out. Right, we're in the car. We've got the OBD link. What we'll do, let's just turn the car on, get some ignition. Let's just check. Let's see if the OBD link comes up. This one here. Stereo's connected. Maybe one more. Some interesting things going on in the car too. Look at this. See if it'll do it. Yeah, there you go. A little bit. No, not doing it again. So what just missed is the speedo. Oh, there we go. It's moving a little bit. There you go. That's a bit of an odd one. Can't say I've ever seen the car do that before. Engine check lights up, so we know the computer's connected. Yeah, we know the bonnet's open. Okay, anyway, we have an OBD link connected now. Okay, great. So let's just connect the app into it. Update available. Okay, we'll have a look at that in just a moment. Let's just have a quick look and see if in here, reading any pending codes. No. Battery's good, but then it's, oh, I did have the battery on charge as well, just thinking there was possibly, it has been sitting for quite a while. Okay guys, I've just had a quick look around, and I've had a look at the crank position sensor, but as I said, I didn't go anywhere near that, so I'm fairly certain that's not the problem. And I think you know, you always think about, what have I touched, obviously I had the fuel tank out the back while I was rebuilding the car, so but we know the fuel pump works. I didn't film it, but I had this fuel line off, and you know, just turning on the ignition, fuel started pouring out of there, so we're good with that. I've had the coil pack off, so we've just had the connection off, make sure that's on okay, and that seems to be in all right. So we'll put that back. It's definitely got 12 volts coming through to it. I can't test the other functions of it at the moment, but that's okay. Now the other thing that I may not have mentioned yet is I did take all of this out, so the ECU was off and everything. Battery was disconnected at the time. I had the whole airbox out just because I was trying to get into the the brake lines, so I have double checked the connections are okay. What else? Obviously the O2 sensor down the bottom there in the exhaust, just before the cat, just after the cat. I think it's just before the cat, could be wrong. So I've just double checked that connection, because obviously as you pull everything out, you've got to be careful it doesn't get caught and the wire gets stretched, etc. But I could be wrong, but I don't think that would cause the engine to not actually fire itself. Now, because I'm getting a little bit lost and I don't know a lot about these, I've turned to the friendly folk on the R53 Owners Club in Facebook, and already heaps of posts, so thank you so much for everyone who's responded. So Luke Whitehouse, thank you very much. Yes, checking all the electrical connections. Yep, no water ingress. Well, the car's been in this barn for the last 3 to 4 months, so hopefully that's not the problem. Coil pack, possible, but again, the car was running and I haven't really done anything, except, mind you, I did, like I said, I have had the coil pack off, and I did clean up number 3, because that was rusty in there, and it doesn't feel like it's connecting very well, so it could be, but that, I would have thought that's just possibly a misfire. So I have gone through, I'm going through all the electronics, agreed. There's probably a little bit more I need to just sit back and think, okay, what else have I touched? I have been up around the ABS sensor, and I do know from Tom Cottrell that he had some issues with the display doing all sorts of weird things. It turned out to be a wire going back through down on, sorry, no light, down under somewhere around here. Okay, that's the front brake line. Some cables, you know, obviously, oh, there's all the whole bunch of cables right there. So one had frayed apparently, so it looks okay from here, but I don't know what's just underneath that plastic. But something to think about. But again, the car hasn't really been moving much, so I'm not 100% sure, but that could be it. Lots of points on the crank sensor. So Michael York, thank you. Ryan Brook, yes. So I haven't touched the front, like I said, so hopefully that's not it. And Mark Williams, earth connection, yeah, I'm thinking that. Ignition barrel, that's something I looked at a few years ago. Cam sensor plugged in, faulty. Yeah, best of luck. Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, agreed. So again, the cam sensor, have I been near that? The cam sensor is just down over there. I was looking at that just before. I mean, possible. As I said, I had the airbox out, so who knows? Maybe it's been knocked or something. Maybe there's a wire loose, but we'll have a look at that. And then John Reed has said, try ECU reset through the odometer menu. Odometer meter menu. Worked for me when mine was not firing up. So that is something that yeah, should be fairly easy to give it a try. So let's go do that. I've had a quick look on how to do that, so let's just hop in the car. Excuse the shaky camera work. Shaky, so I call it shady camera work. Okay, let's see if we can set the camera up here so you can see. Lighting is terrible, but when this comes on we should be right. So I'm just going to get a little bit close so I can use my finger, 2 hands. Right, so pushing in the button, turn on the car, get to test. Right, so we want to go to 19 and wait for it to go off on. So apparently when it's off is when we want to press the button again. Off, there we go. So now we want to get to 21, test 21. What I really need to do, I know plenty of people have actually posted information about all these codes, and I keep thinking it's something I need to sit down and learn. But so here's the reset. So I'm going to go, yep, we want to do the reset. That's what I want. Ooh, lots of things flashing. And she's come back. Okay. So let's see, have I got everything plugged in before I try and crank it again? Let me see if that's made a difference. Right, we don't have an airbox. That'll be all right just for the moment. Is there anything going to be sucked into there? Let's just remove all loose objects from around there just for the moment. Take that off. Nothing else is disconnected. We still have fluids. This is supported. Okay, let's just give that a quick crank over and see if that helps. Again, sorry for the video. Right. Nope. Right. Just going to start checking wires coming out of the ECU, because one of the things I did have is I had all this out. Like I said, this was out, so I'm going to check. Now, the first thing is an earth wire that comes out here, and I was using this point as a earth check. Now I'm just going to put the camera down, because otherwise it's going to get really difficult for me to sort of work and you to see what's going on. So let's put the camera somewhere where we can see what's going on. Hopefully somewhere where it'll actually stay as well. Okay, maybe it'll stay there. Hopefully you'll see this. The important thing is that you should hear a beep. So just a quick test, we've got the multimeter on. You can hear the beep. So I've been using this as an earth. Okay, there we go. Doesn't like the bolt maybe. Oh, that's not even tight. That's interesting. Right, let's what else can we test against? ABS, engine, just touching the engine there. Yeah, just different parts. Okay, so we've got a good earth. We know there's a good earth off this. We'll just double check different components again. Make sure, what else can we touch? I don't think. Morning guys, back. I had a very short day on the car yesterday. I had a few things to do in the afternoon, so first of all, thanks again to everyone from the R53 Owners Club who've posted comments on what I should be looking for. So the first thing I've done this morning is I popped out a spark plug, and it smells, it doesn't look wet, but let's have a look. Let's get away from that light. Let's have a look over here. Not really focusing well, is it? It doesn't look wet, but it certainly smells of petrol. So I'm just going to put it back in, just do another crank over, and then I'll pop it back out again, just see if that is the case, which hopefully will rule out petrol issues with the car. And if that's the case, I think certainly a lot of people have said is go back and check any earths you've undone, but I'm just trying to think right through, and the only earth I can think of that I actually undid was on the petrol filler, because I haven't, apart from as you see it now, I mean, I've got the radiator sitting off, which I've actually always had it sitting up, but I just wanted to get into the crank sensor. But apart from that, the only thing I've had off is the plastic was off like this, so I did have the ECU out. This plastic casing was off as well, cover was off as well, but outside of that, there's nothing really I undid that has an air strap on it that I can think of. Before I just talk on too much and ramble a lot, I'm going to clean this one up, put it back in, and then we will give it a crank over this morning and just see if we get, we'll pull it back out again and just see if it's how wet it is, and see if that is the problem, like just see if we can rule out the fuel issue. Right, let's get on with that. Yep. So, sorry, everything fell off, but you saw one spark there, so we've definitely got spark. I'm pretty sure there's fuel, but like it smells like there's a little bit of fuel, but I think maybe the issue is fuel pressure. Sorry guys, I just gone and put that spark plug. I thought I had turned the video on. Just put that spark plug back in. We're just going another crank over because there was some interesting sounds almost to start. Let's see if we get anything. Give it a try. weird thing is, see, there you go, there's still weird things with electronics. The car's just locked itself, but oh, definitely something. Okay, so interesting, when I had a spark plug out, it started to think about firing. I'm gonna see, yeah, let's just try something. Right, now, not quite sure how this is gonna work, but because I can't reach the ignition and this at the same time. We'll prime up, I'll reach across, fire a bit of this in. It's not really going to do much, is it? I don't think. Or maybe it is. So I think that could prove that we have a fuel issue. Okay, see what we get now. Get it prime. Okay, it's a fuel system issue for sure. What we did there, just to try and prove a point, is got some cold start, and I was trying to work out, because I'm just here by myself, how do you turn the ignition on way over here and try and get stuff in the air intake. So what I did is actually pulled out the sensor here and I sprayed a whole bunch in there, sealed it back up, and then cranked it, and as you saw, we got everything firing up. So definitely a fuel system issue. So we're going to head back into this car. We're going to have to pop those little black trays off. Anyway guys, the good news is we know what's wrong. Well, we think we know what's wrong. It seems like we know what's wrong, and now it's just a matter of going ahead and fixing it. I think, like most people say, when you've taken something apart and doesn't work, usually it's you've got to go back through the stuff that you've been doing with the car, because that's usually where the problem's going to be. So anyway, let's get on with that. I'll get some lighting into the car. It's going to be interesting working on it while it's still sitting on the trailer, but it's okay. We can open the doors, we can get in there, and we'll get on with this. Okay guys, I've pulled it out. The first thing is this O-ring here was kind of all lopsided inside there, so I don't know if that's fallen out. It seems to fit alright, but this O-ring, which is down inside here, let's put it back on actually, seems alright, but if you remember, there's got to be this, the filter's going to push over it, and if I just going to push on one side, you see it sort of sits out a bit. So I'm just thinking, if you're pushing that in there, I'm just wondering if that's kind of rolling up over and out of the seal a bit like this, which of course is not really going to help. It's not going to work properly. So I'm going to see, got a whole bunch of O-rings here, different sizes, hundreds of them. So I'm going to try and find one that's the same size. Well, hopefully a little bit smaller and fits in there better. Okay, check this nice out, O-ring set out. Not bad. Okay, we've gone for one, same thickness, hang on a sec. So the same thickness, but just slightly smaller. Sorry, flickering light. Where can we get away from flickering light? Very hard to get away from flickering light. Sorry for that. Let's go here. Still a flicker. So yeah, same thickness but slightly smaller. We've put one in. Seems a little bit tighter. Now I'm just going to double check that that actually does seal up. Sorry, again, flickering. We're going to just make sure that seals up against the filter first before we can put it all together, and then we'll make sure this O-ring on the outside sticks in, and yeah, fingers crossed, hopefully we get this one right. Okay, right, I'm just going to see how well we can get this in. So let's have a look. There's small ones, big one, yeah, which is the front here. So let's see. Make sure we don't damage anything in the process as well. So, should be a little bit of a fight. How can we turn that? Let's go with strapping this thing up again. It's not easy because of everything attached to the bottom of it. Okay guys, we'll just prime it up a little bit. That's one of those, come back off. Two of those, one more for luck, eh? Three of those. All right, let's see if we've got. Woohoo! Okay. We love the sound of it without the exhaust on. Success. Let's go around the front. All right, hey guys. Okay, I like it. Whew. Right, now put it all back together again.